So I get asked often, and it comes up with clients. They talk about content supply chain, and I have an opinion on what that means and what it should mean, especially to retailers and digital retailers. But I thought I'd show how I explore when I hear terms like this. They can be ambiguous or have different meanings to different people. I'm going to use ChatGPT to sort of explore the topic a little and show how I work. At the basics here, I'll say, what does. Now, this is not canonical. I may get nonsense back. I'll probably get what the vast majority of things written in the last few years think it means. It's a little bit easier with a term like this or a phrase because it's relatively new, but not so new that it's not in the data that the LLMs have been trained on. When I look at this, strategy and planning, yes, I totally agree. What is the content for? Who is it for? What channels should it be in? I think there's a strategy piece here that's missing, which is when you're selling in multiple channels or you're advertising in multiple channels or marketing in multiple channels, the theme around the content should be the same. I think Nike does this spectacularly. Other other retailers or other brands, it can be a very disconcerting experience when you see an advertisement in the middle of a live stream or a television or television. I don't watch TV, but when you're streaming a movie or something, sometimes ads will pop up depending on your platform. That experience, one very different than what you see in your browser, maybe in a Facebook ad or a Google ad, versus on your phone. The strategy behind what is the message, what is the brand sort of identity. Most large players do a pretty good job around that. However, a lot of times, talking about bullet point one, there's different tools, technologies. There are folks passing around spreadsheets and Dropboxes and everything else, trying to get everything on message with different agencies, different creatives, and there isn't a shared space to do that in. Going back to creation, again, I sort of jumped ahead a little bit. Often folks don't do everything in-house. They'll use agencies, creative firms, and need to collaborate with them. Often I see, even if they have, I keep jumping ahead, but even if they have tooling that would allow a workflow where you can sort of co-create or do quick iterations, it's often the creative team uses one tool, they get everything ready, they send a big bundle over, and or they manually input into another tool that is, so if I'm Nike, I send a creative brief to a firm or an agency. They do all of their stuff sort of over time, and the collaboration is via email or other sort of, I don't want to say sneaker net because it is digital, but it's digital sneaker net, if you will. It's a disconnected experience. Again, this falls into creation and management, where often if I hire an agency, I don't see the intermediate steps where there might have been something in there that I would have wanted to redirect or test. I only get the final output, or depending on how often these are contractually driven things, I only see, maybe I get 4 drops. I get, 3 red lines or revisions. The creative process, the client is disconnected from it. And some of that is, if we go down to, now 3, management, because the management tools don't have workflows that are built to be iterative. It's very much a one-way street. The back pressure to say, hold on, we want to go a different direction, we want to explore this idea you had, it's just missing. You never see that. And I think that's a problem with how people look at it, because in software, creative, sort of other pursuits, being able to get into the process, if you're a client hiring someone to do this sort of thing, is valuable, because you're not building a physical product that once the product's created, you're just delivering it. See how I keep jumping ahead. You are a large part, probably the larger part of the process is steps 1 and 2 and 3 in this. Delivery and distribution is easier to optimize, but you might need a tool for that, right? And again, sort of, I wouldn't call it such a linear thing. It's more of a cycle, but a lot of folks look at it as a linear process. And if you talk to sort of creative firms, they're looking for a one-off drop or intermediate drops, and then they're not measuring, they're not optimizing, they don't even care about delivery. I don't know how many times I've seen clients reach out to creative firms. They get these giant, beautiful pieces of art that are flawless, and it's a 2 megabyte ping that the client, the retailer, the brand then drops on a web page or sends out in an email that just slows everything down. Deal with it all the time. You have a beautiful product detail page with a spectacular image of the product, but the whole page takes 6 seconds to load because actually the product, there's 20 renditions at this giant sort of size, super high fidelity, so you can see every hair on someone's arm, but nobody cares. And nobody, to the measurement and optimization, nobody measures like, let's use a lower resolution that will speed up the page. Let's use a lossy compression algorithm. Let's do these other experiments. That experimentation is gone. They may study new creative versus old creative, but not what we have now optimized or subtly changed in different ways. Anyway, I generally agree with these. I don't think it's a linear thing. I think for any one iteration, this all makes sense. And certainly there are tools in each of these spaces that help. But I think folks get hung up on sort of the PowerPoint version of this, which I think is a problem. And this is a pretty good conclusion here. They struggle to scale and reuse because things are fragmented, poorly managed. I've 100% seen this 1,000 times. Optimizing things, for sure. I can think of a particular engagement where this is what we did. We said, hey, have your creatives work in the open in a tool you already have. Give them access. Don't have them email your junior people who unzip this giant file and plug it into the right place of your CMS or your DAM. Let them work in the open and be able to give feedback in real time and approve, disapprove, ask for changes, in a collaborative way. It's just better. So I thought I'd just, honestly, I intended to do more with this, but this is a pretty good, output here. All right, well, that's my 2 cents. Welcome any feedback or further explanation if anybody wants it. Thank you.